In today's video, we're going to be going into the topic of researching your destination before your actual trip. Planning a trip involves much more than just packing. And in this video, I'll share with you the steps I take to gather all the important information for a smooth and enjoyable travel experience. So let's get into it. The first aspect I always look into is the country and the location I'll be visiting. Obviously, it's crucial to familiarize yourself with the tourist visa requirements, if any, more so for the tourists interested in long-term travel like myself. Research how long one can stay in the country and any possible visa extensions if you're interested in staying longer. Make sure you are aware of the visa application process and any associated fees. This information can usually be found on the official website of the destination country's embassy or consulate. Doing this before the trip is easier, as you're still in the comforts of your own home country, where communication won't be any trouble. For some of the countries I'll be looking to stay long-term, Japan and Korea lets tourists stay for 90 days without a visa for tourism. As long as I don't surpass the amount of days in one stay, then I should be fine. Though there is a fine line between going to a country until the max limit, then hopping to another country and back. That can get you in trouble, so try and avoid that. Other countries I'm interested in visiting is Thailand, which has a 30-day initial stay, no visa needed for that, with a 60-day tourist visa extension if a longer stay is preferred, and there is a fee on that. And for Vietnam, there is a 30-day tourist visa with no possible extension. Cultural differences play a significant role in shaping your travel experience. In my opinion, it's essential to learn about local mannerisms and customs, as it can greatly impact your interactions with the locals. Also, research the appropriate clothing for your destination, considering the cultural norms and the weather conditionings of that time of the year. Understanding and respecting the local culture will help you blend in and show appreciation for the places you visit. I love interacting with the locals in whichever country I visit. So to make sure I don't offend anyone with any type of miscommunication, I always try and learn about the local mannerisms beforehand. This also lets me immerse within and learn more about the culture firsthand, which is always a good experience to have. Language is another crucial aspect to research in my opinion. Learn a few basic phrases in the local language to help you navigate and communicate with locals. Even better if you attempt to study and learn the language. This can make a significant difference in your overall experience and may even open doors to unique encounters and insights. It also shows that you're trying and attempting to learn and communicate with the locals, and I'm sure they appreciate the effort. It's one of my biggest pet peeves when I see people who just expect everyone else on the planet to understand English or whatever language they're communicating in, and get angry when nobody understands them. Please don't be that person. Be understanding and respectful. When planning your trip, consider the time of the year you'll be arriving. Find out if it's the rainy season or hurricane season, as these weather conditions can affect your travel plans and activities. Pack accordingly to ensure you are prepared for the climate. For example, in Japan, the rainy season or tsuyu is normally from early June to late July or early August. During this time, it's basically a big downpour almost every day with rarely any sun whatsoever. This might make or break some of your plans, such as biking around the city, unless you don't mind the rain, or going to the beach in Kamakura. For me personally, I love walking and taking photos in the rain for the rainy type of look with all the interesting reflections from the puddles and just the overall vibe that the rain brings to the photo. So I don't mind that at all. But for sunrise, yeah, rainy and cloudy mornings might not be the best. So plan your trip accordingly. If you're interested in driving during your trip, it's essential to research whether you need a driving permit or a license in the country you're visiting. Different countries have different requirements, so make sure you have the necessary documentation to operate a vehicle legally. For me, I've never driven internationally, but I'm very interested as I want to do a week or two on Jeju Island in Korea and a month or so, maybe longer, in Hokkaido. Since local transits may not be the best in the area you want to explore, I'd probably rent a car in those situations when visiting those places. That's when an IDP or an international driving permit would be very helpful. From the research I've done, I found AAA or AAA, I'm not too sure how to pronounce it, a company that offers an IDP. For a small permit fee of $20, it gives you an IDP good for 1 year. For me, I'd rather stay on the safe side, so when I start my travels, I'll be applying for one. When exploring cities, researching dangerous locations to avoid is important for your safety. A simple Google search or searching on Reddit can help you spot such locations, as locals or people are more knowledgeable about the area and can probably help you with that. A tip that I've heard quite a bit when heading into a new country, especially as a solo traveler, is to try and get to the location during the afternoon. This lets you enter an unknown area while there's still daylight for you to navigate around the city, but also more people are out during that time, so it's more unlikely that anyone would do anything to you. Obviously, in big cities, there are small petty crimes such as pickpocketing that can happen at any time of the day. For these type of crimes, you just have to be mindful and careful of them. Now let's talk about the fun part. Planning your itinerary. I'll be making an entirely separate video on this for this series, as I can go way more in depth about it. But in general, while I usually have specific places I want to visit, I also enjoy the freedom of exploration within a city. I love getting lost and discovering hidden gems along the way. However, I think it's always good to have a general idea of what you want to do in each city. Create a list of potential places to visit, but keep in mind that you may, or in my case probably won't, not be able to cover everything. Be flexible and open-minded, allowing yourself to embrace unexpected adventures and spontaneous discoveries. In conclusion, researching your destination thoroughly is something I definitely recommend for well-prepared and memorable trips. Of course, you can still enjoy your time and travels with no plans at all or no research at all, but from my experiences, I found that being able to at least attempt to communicate is always something appreciated by the locals and just makes your experience that much more enjoyable. To make sure you aren't disappointed with any specific plans you had in mind, make sure you check ahead of time with the research you can do online. And once you get all that information down, you're good to go. For me, I plan my travels with a mix of must-see events, locations that I think are important, as well as time to just embrace the unexpected and roam around. Personally, I think it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared, which is why I have more than enough locations written down in my notes. I hope you found this video helpful for your own travels. If you have any additional advice or personal experiences, please share them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Later.